Good afternoon and welcome to live day 2 coverage of the High1 Ladies Open here in Jongseon. Timothy Loh here. Wonderful to have your company this Friday afternoon. 48 players, just over a third of the 120 player field, had to come back bright and early this morning to complete their opening rounds after fog caused a 3-hour delay yesterday. But no such problems when we got to the course at 6:50 in the morning today. So round 1 completed, round 2 very much underway. Still slightly delayed as Lee won last week's winner at the Weave Championship. Just pitches up there. Currently level par is Year 1. Park Geol was the overnight leader, one of the 48 players that had to come back and finish up opening round action. She set the pace at 4 under par, dropped a couple shots early but recovered the situation well to count a 72 to leave her 4 under at the halfway stage. This is the lady on top right now, Ji Han Sol. Last year's Jeju Samdasu Masters champion has put together a very fine round of golf today. Currently leads the way at 6 under par. And Sol with 4 wins on the KLPGA Tour, but just the Samdasu Masters in Jeju last year, her lone 72-hole triumph. This looks to be the defending champion, Han Jin Seon, who is putting in a credible defense of her crown. She said it was one of her big goals coming into the year to successfully defend here at High1, just coming up shy there. She is right in the mix at 3 under par. This looks like Hong Ji-won at 9, the reigning Korea Women's Open champion. She will be the defending champion next week when we return to Jade Palace for the 3rd major championship of this season, the Hanwha Classic, where she shocked many to claim a breakthrough title last year with a very dominant performance in brutal conditions. Hyun Kyung got close last week, took the lead into Sunday before eventually getting pipped to the post by her playing partner today, the Year 1. Finding some nice form at a good time, but unable to find a birdie. And they're at 7 for the 2-time KLPGA Championship winner. Playing alongside Ji-won, Sung Yoo Jin, winner of the Doosan Match Play Championship this year. Chance to get it back to even par for the championship. Not going to stay up. So a lot of putts missed low and just a little shy yesterday. Conditions this afternoon, a little bit more what the players expected. Warm, course is starting to dry out. It's going to be an interesting test of golf if conditions remain this way over the next couple of days. Now Year 1 with a bit of work left in this for her par. Oh, very nicely holed for Year 1. Needless to say, she's feeling good after her victory last week. 2nd of the year, 2nd of her career. Can theoretically move past the absent Park Ji-young at the top of the points list this week, should she go on to claim victory. I believe a solo 2nd place will do for Year 1. Hong Jo-min, simplest of birdie conversions there to end her round. 72 yesterday, 71 today. Jin Seon. Well holed as well. She was disappointed last year that her parents weren't able to be at High1 Resort to celebrate her maiden triumph. They're here this week. Said it would be extra special to lift a trophy with them in attendance. So me, 2 wins last year. Down the hill for birdie at 8 to draw within 1 of Jihan Sol. It's another glorious summer's afternoon here in South Korea, in the northeast corner of the country. Next week we will head over, as I mentioned, to Jade Palace for the third of the 5 major championships in the calendar season for these ladies on the KLPGA Tour. Here is your championship leader looking to extend that margin at the 13th. Big swing from left to right in this for Hansol. Hyun Kyung at the 8th. So a lot of shots peppering the pin yesterday. No different today. Lovely tee shot right over the stick. A couple of interesting hole-in-one prizes up this week. There's a watch available on the 6th. There's a brand new Volkswagen car available on the 16th. Just a 9-iron for year 1. Tee shot playing slightly downhill. Just pitched a little firm on the front edge of the green, but that's perfectly all right for the 20-year-old. Jin Seon cuts a tall figure, does Han. Much like Kim Min Byul, who we were watching a lot of yesterday. Generates a lot of width at the top of her backswing. So technically sound, but it looks like she hung back a little on that. Ooh, flicked at it. And she'll certainly get away with it. Pleased with where that one's ended up for the defending champ. $800 million won prize purse up for grabs this week. Over 1.3 billion next week at the Hanwha Classic. Now, Hansol. Colombo bag is the hole-in-one prize for any lady managing to snag an ace. The first lady to snag an ace at 14 this week. No hole-in-ones recorded yesterday. And that's a little wide of the target for your tournament leader. It's going to be a bit of a slippery chip shot that Hansol's left herself. going to be a bit of a slippery one for Hansel. He's just sitting down a smidge in the rough. You have to land this maybe 2-3 yards past the fringe. It pitches on a downslope and it will chase on down to this pin. Really well played shot. High1 coming down the hill herself at the 8th for a 2. It's traveling with some pace. It's a good positive putt. Really, that's what you want to see. Call it missing on the pro side. It's got enough pace to get to the hole, and if anything, you miss it on the top side. Ji Eun-hee flies a trade on the LPGA Tour, playing back in Korea for the first time since the BMW Championship last year at Oak Valley. 2 over par at the moment, but that's pretty nicely played into 9. Hyun-kyung. Koshtanya clattered into the flagstick with her tee shot. Still with a good 12-footer for her 2. That's middle of the cup. Beautifully holed from Park Hyun-kyung. Scared to think that she hasn't won a title since the 2021 KLPGA Championship. Had some close calls, but still hasn't kissed a cup in more than 2 years. Now, Lee So-young playing alongside Ji Eun-hee, winner of last year's Diowenia MBN Ladies Open. It's coming to the end of her second round. It's a fine shot, but you see that putt before we know it. Really has some significant kick to the right. Jin Seon. A little bit less movement in this one than Hyun-kyung's. Should be just outside left edge. Started right. Wasn't ever going to come back from there. Interesting choice of club here for Lee So-mi. She's just through the back of this 9th green into that second cut of rough, albeit by about 3 inches, but she's got putter on. It looks like that ball's sitting down significantly as well. It's all downhill to the hole, moving hard right. She's going to pop this one out. It almost feels like it's going to come out some extra topspin. At the end of the day, it's worked out well. No wrong way to play this game. All that matters is the little number on your scorecard. Back down on the tee box, Park Hyun-kyung. ENG. He's at least got 2 cups of break in this. Great effort. Just a par to close for ENG. Pair of matching 73s, which right now leaves her outside the cut line, but you feel that with the way that High1 Country Club's been playing so far this week, she should be safe to the weekend. So it's just inside the top 30 on the money list right now. Best finish of the season for Han Jin-seon. Third place at the Daiwinia MBN Ladies Open. Did have a quarter-final loss at the Dusan match play. Hasn't missed a cut since the E1 Charity Ladies Open at High1. Thinking about the cut line, she's thinking about defending the crown she worked so hard to claim last year. Now, Somi, look at how much swing she's allowing for here. It's a good 3 feet of break, and that putt can't be longer than 8 feet. Just a tricky golf course. The lake and mountain nines at High1. Well, a par's not going to do So Young's challenge any harm. Slightly disappointed with a 74 today, but in red figures. She heads into the weekend. It's a good up and down for Lee So-mi. Backs up her opening 69 with a 71 today. She'll have a nice late tea time Saturday afternoon. Back out to 7. And Chung Ji-min. Good putt there for birdie. Gets her to 2 over par, and you really feel the cut line's going to be bang on there at the end of play today. A couple of the morning starters from yesterday's opening round just getting their second rounds underway. 20 past 2 here in South Korea. Jin-seon use that slope right of the pin to try to fettle it in. The best place to be putting from is just left of the pin, but there's not much room there. Ooh, through the back, and that looks like it's really sat down in the rough. Going to be a fiddly one. Along with her 2 wins this year. Also has a runner-up. There was a playoff loss to Park Min-ji at the Celtrion Queen's Masters. She too getting the number wrong. Even further through the green than Jin-seon. Hyun-kyung. 3 runner-ups this season. Lost in the match play finals to Sung Yoo-jin. Also was second at the season opening Hana Financial Group Singapore Women's Open. back in December last year. Pitched on the downslope, but that hits the handbrakes just in time for Hyun Kyung. Kerry Park has joined Jihan So at the top of the leaderboard. And she's now moved one clear with that birdie at 14. Lovely stuff from Kerry Park. Blemish free today, 4 under the card. She now leads the High1 Resorts Ladies Open at 7 under. Got to play a similar shot to Yeon, but she's got the club face pretty square. Looks like she's just trying to bump it onto the fringe, nudge this forward. Should start to swing right. This is a pretty good effort. That's just going to go releasing on by for Han Jin-seon. Two different ways to play that shot. Unless you're Lee So-min, you decide to take out a putter. Now back to 8. And Young Ah-yeon should be about 2 cups outside the left edge. Well, at the line, just needed the pace. Hyun Kyung all about just picking a spot, maybe about 6 feet out from the cup. You want your ball to lose its pace and let gravity do the rest of the work. It's a lot about feel and visualization here. That's a terrific effort. Really good putt from there. She's lurking again through 36 holes, Park Hyun-kyung. Just feel she's due a win with those 3 runner-ups this year. Level past 72 today for Hyun-kyung. 2 under par through 36. Jo Yeon-ju at 7, coming over that water for her second. And getting a decent kick out of the rough, and that's going to go releasing on. No gimme this for year 1. Wants to dive off left just as it gets to the cup. It's just so hard to trust it, send it as far out right as you need. Well, it's going to be a disappointing way to finish for last week's winner. Double bogey on the 3rd. Sting a little, as will that drop shot at 9. Jung Ji-min wants to give herself some breathing room against the projected cut line. Right now it's 1, but you feel it's going to go to 2. Oof. Did everything but go in that one. Great try. Jin Seon. It's also going to be moving right to left, but not as much as year 1's. Far more manageable. Oh, but she too just didn't quite hit it hard enough, and that's a rotten way to finish day 2 for Han Jin Seon. Level par 72 today. Currently just sits outside the top 10. With half the field yet to complete their second rounds here at the High1 Resorts Ladies Open, where Kerry Park leads by 1. Championship leader Kerry Park sizing up another birdie look here at 16. Looks downhill and off her right. Has it got the legs? No. Don't blame her for putting a little defensively on that one. The greens here aren't the quickest, but you're on the wrong side of some of these slopes, particularly down green. It can be made to look a little silly. This afternoon's featured group, all carding 2 under par 70s yesterday. Yu So-yeon in the pink, two-time major champion on the LPGA Tour, company of Lee Jae-yong. US Women's Open, Chevron Championship, back when it was called the ANA Inspiration. Before that was called the Dinah Shore. It's a stern test, this opening hole at the High1 Golf Resort. It's par 4 that worms its way around this big hill to the right-hand side. There's trouble that lurks left off the tee. Just have to hit 2 solid golf shots to give yourself a birdie look. You take a 4 though, par's a good score. Som leads us off here. Runner up in the Rookie of the Year points race to High1 last season. Already knocked on the door a couple of times in her sophomore campaign on the KLPGA Tour, most notably that playoff loss at the Korea Women's Open to Hong Ji-won. Jung Yun-ju at the 8th. Fine shot, best of the day we've seen to this 141-meter par 3. Lee Jae-yong rocking the canary yellow outfit today is Kim Min-sun. Also with the 3-wood for position. Just a little right, might be blocked out. Won't really be able to see the target from there, I believe. Let's avoid that fairway bunker. Yu So-yeon, 33 years of age. 10 wins on the KLPGA Tour. A former winner at this very golf course. She wasn't feeling her best ball striking wise at the start of the season. Has come back here to try to rediscover some form, and signs are good. She was 3 under par through her first 2 holes yesterday. Holed out for eagle at the 10th, birdie at the 11th. Take some shot to hold out from there at the first though, but she knows it's a marathon, not a sprint. As one of this afternoon's feature groups get underway here on day 2. Back down to the 9th, and Jung Ji-min just completing her second round. Must get this up and down. Currently at 2 over. How about up and in? Oh, brilliant effort. That should be safe. Not making any promises, but 2 over par, I'm going to predict, safely makes the halfway cut here. Regardless of what I think, it's going to be a bit of a nervy afternoon's wait for Jung Ji Min too. It was a colourful card, all tops up to around a 71. Just come up a little slow on High1. You're feeding on down, but she's accidentally left it in a decent spot because that's almost a straight uphill putt left for An. That was just a few moments ago. Now live on the same green. Lee Ji-hyun 3. It's for birdie. It's going to be a ticklish one down this hill. Just barely got that started. Okay. It's another player in the clubhouse at 2 over par. String of late bogeys leave a bit of a bitter taste in the mouth of Lee Ji-hyun 3. Now, Yoo So-yeon can see the target from where she is. The lie doesn't look too appetizing. The former US Women's Open champion. This takes a little bit of guesswork. Going to work out what the ball's going to do coming out of the rough. Pins on the front edge today, just 7. Paces on. Just erring on the side of caution. A little bit long there, but that's not going to be a bother. For a par at the last. Don't need to give the hole away here. Keep it inside the cup with pace. Yeah, well done. 70 yesterday. Going to be a 73 today for An. Anytime you're going to be under par this week, pretty happily take that result. More golf to be played for An So-yeon. Min Sun 7. Just shy of that bunker, but unobstructed by that tree short right of the green. To get the stop she was looking for coming out of the thick stuff, but that's fine. The only player to hit this fairway, Ma Da-som. She will be able to put spin on this. Oh, no, she won't. Maybe just a bit of poor contact there. Here the green's firming up as well, so it's going to be a tricky test, particularly if the breeze starts to blow over the next couple of days. Now, what of the progress of our championship leader, Carey Park, at the 17th? Popped a tee shot out there safely in play, 213 meters off the tee. There's an uphill second shot to this pin that's cut just 6 from the left edge in the back section of the green. Left is not good with this whole location, so about 20 feet right. There's a small bank there which Can sort of kick the ball back towards the pin. There's the kick. And that's a good result for Kerry Park. She won't know exactly where that's finished. She's got a decent idea, but 17th green does sit a little bit above the level of the fairway as we drop back a couple of holes. And Choi Min Kyung needs a fast start. Oh, she didn't need to see that. Great effort, but she'll stay at 3 over. Despite being the only player in this group to hit the fairway off the tee, it's going to be Mada Som first to putt. Three-year-old from Seoul sends it on its way, and it's okay. Decent pace on that one. To the 8th, and Jung Yun-ju to get herself into red figures. Yep. Well done. Minsun 7, currently 6th on the rookie points list. Runner-up last week to Lee Ye-won. Only started the KLPGA Tour last season. Was an invite to this very event. Missed the halfway cut there. Finished 5 over par. Going along a little bit better in 2023 though. Yeah, it's not bad. Just inside the marker of Mada Som. Suspiciously slick putt for Kerry Park here. Downhill, working off the right. It's got that little pencil grip, you see. Just no tension in that right side whatsoever. Index finger running down the shaft. Just trying to use the big muscles in your body to keep that putter on line. Oh, how's that miss? That looked in, 6 feet out. But a par keeps her 1 clear of Jihan Seoul. It has been a very good day at the office for Kerry Park. Bogey free, 4 under par, and leading the way here at the High1 Resorts Ladies Open. So young. Outside look at a birdie here to start her second round. Gave it a good effort, but I feel it should be 3 pars for this featured group at the opening hole. Says that she feels like her best golf is still in front of her. It's an ominous message when you're a 2-time major champion. Now to the 2021 Rookie of the Year, Song Ga-eun. Last year's Daibo House D Open champion, wire-to-wire winner there. Going along nicely this week, 2 under par, second into the 9th. Not the longest hitter on tour, but pretty accurate. Although could have done with at least a club more there. Just inside left edge for Dasom's par. Yeah, well done. Nicely holed. I'd like to hold a little putt like that on the first hole. Just feels like you settle into your round a little bit easier. Ooh, this is a bit of an awkward stance. Looks like the ball's outside of this bunker for Jung Yun-ju, but she's standing inside of it. She's done very nicely from there. It's a good kick forward. Chuffed about that result. Sun 7 just brushes that one in for an opening par as well. Runner-up finished last week, taking her inside the top 30 on the money list. Now let's have a look at this par 4 second, 331 meters, much like the opening hole here at High 1. It's trouble left and trouble right. Being a shorter hole, you don't really have to go with the big stick. That'll bring the bunker on the left-hand side into play for the shorter hitters. If you do manage to carry that, it does leave you a much simpler second shot. Challenge the dogleg, leave yourself a short iron or a wedge in to this slightly elevated green. It's a pretty deep one, 47 paces deep. Pins in the middle of it today, just 8 from the left edge, sort of on that middle tier. Talked about the options off the tee. Take the 3-wood, take it a little bit further right, leave yourself a longer second shot in. Tassom says, well, stuff that, I'm hitting driver. Got to challenge the corner of the dogleg. It does simplify the hole if you can pull this tee shot off. Pull it off, she does. That's excellent. Slippery one down the hill, ahead on the green to get to 2 under. Oh, well done. Wait for the cheers. There you go. One of the most vocal fan clubs you're going to find on the KLPGA Tour. Birdie start for Lee Ka-young. Just a 3-wood for Min Sun. Gives herself a little bit more room to work with off the tee. Fairway safely found there for the rookie. Has been a rock-solid driver of the golf ball for so long in her storied career. Yu So-yeon using the far right side of the tee box, giving herself as much angle as possible to carry it over that dogleg. That is just a frozen rope, isn't it? It's a pretty picture. Is she going to run out of fairway? Just, but that's fine. Song-Ga-eun coming towards the end of her second round, running from middle front portion of this 9th green. She's going to get over that brow, hang a right, and then try to work back left. And that's good pace there from Ga-eun. It's always been a very solid putter. It's one of those players where you think, gosh, if she just hit it 15 yards longer, contend on a couple of more courses than she already can do. 2-time winner on tour. Jung Yun-ju also has to contend with that little brow, so he'll be speedy in the second half of this putt. Slightly undercooked. No gimme yet. To the 8th, and Choi Ka-bin tee shot at this short par 3, shortest of the 4 here at High-1. Another bang on line. So-yeon's second on the way here, currently 1 over par, and it's a very friendly couple of kicks. Gives herself a look at birdie. Pin on 2, just perched on that middle level of this 3-tiered green. Players have to ensure they carry it at least 5-6 paces short of that hole. If you don't get the full distance, you could have a rather lengthy birdie putt. That's no guaranteed par. Ample room long and right of this pin. Just a perfect summation of the test that the players face at High-1 this week. You hit a good quality shot, you leave yourself inside of 15, 20 feet. Those are reasonable birdie putts. You get your numbers wrong, you could start to rack up rather soft bogeys from the middle of the fairway. Min Sun's 7's going to be first to go. Looks like a fairly flat lie for her. We started just left of the TV tower at the back of the green. Took dead aim at it. Just a little long there. Now she's on the back step. Oh dear. Did not get the right number there. Could be a little bit of a fly alive from 101 for Yu So-yeon. Playing for a bit of release. Doing a fine job there. Outside right edge putt with good pace. Just sneaks it in the left. Good two putt there for Jung Yun-ju. 2 under par, 70. Safe progress through to moving day. Playing partner Song Ga-eun's going to go into the weekend one shot better. Par total for Ga-eun. Good tidy round to 69. .96 meters left for Ma Son. And yeah, gets that one to back off the slope. Excellent shot there. Took a gamble off the tee, challenging that fairway bunker. Plays a lovely wedge, and she's in birdie country now. Unfortunately for Kerry Park, on the 18th, seems to be flirting with the penalty area here. It's fine. It is a scary second shot coming over big chunk of water. Pin in the front right corner of the green, so not too challenging today. She will be coming in from quite a long ways back with the rescue. Gets that one to chase along through the rough. I don't think she meant to play that shot, but she'll happily take the result. Although, look at the putt she's left herself. My word. It's got some ground to cover from there for Kerry Park, who currently leads the championship by 1 at 7 under par. She's bogey free today. Leads by 2 with Jihan Souls just dropped a shot at the 17th here on day 2 at High1 Country Club. Bit of a miscalculation with the yardage on his second shot. Now he's left Kim Min Sun 7, putting from the top step of this second green. 15 feet flat to start, then it roller coasters its way down onto the middle plateau and should move to her right. Starts to gain speed there. Start to work its way back to the right. And all things considered, good pace on that one. Uphill look for Carey Park at 18 for a closing birdie, but she'd happily settle for a 2-putt. That is to avoid her only drop shot of the day. Present leads by 2 with Ji Han Sol's drop shot at 17. 4 unanswered birdies today for Park. A chance to get her birdie account open for the afternoon. Yu So-yeon working slightly downhill. Should want to just drift a fraction right at the end. Yep. Center cup. She's off and running. Yu So-yeon, a birdie at 2, takes her to 3 under par. Talk about hot starts. Lee Ga-young's delivered. Birdie's at her opening 2 holes, and she's in attackable range at the 3rd. Pin's got just 4 paces from the right edge, so playing this second shot out of the left edge of the fairway offers her a nice angle. Oh, it's even better. Look at this lightning fast start from Lee Ga-young. Birdie at 1, birdie at 2, and a hole-out eagle at 3, sending her fan club into a frenzy. My word, that's a dream start from Lee Ga-young. 3-3-2. Dasson back on 2 green. Outside left edge. Oh, just a little too firm from Dasson. Park for a closing part and a 68. Well, that'll take the shine off her round a smidge, but 69-69 to start the week. Carey Park leads at this stage of the championship going into the weekend at 6 under par. To complete her little simple 2-putt for par. Yep. Well managed for Kim Min Sun 7. Lee Ga-young has sprinted out of the blocks on Friday. 4 under par through her first 3 holes, and with Carey Park's drop shot at 18, Ga-young is now within 2. He's back down on the 3rd tee. This lady has already holed out this week for Eagle. Came at her very first hole of the championship. Par 4 10th yesterday. We've just seen Lee Ga-young hole out on 3. Send a high draw down there, work with the contours of this hole. A little too far left, but avoids the bunker and doesn't get a firm kick off the downslope. That's a good break for So-yeon. I don't think she knows where that's come to rest, but it's fine. Cabin. A couple of good shots into 9, but not many birdies. It's a fine shot. That is going to be lightning quick for Choi Ka-bin. Dasam, imagine she's going with driver as well. Similar-ish shaped tee shot to the one you have to play on 2. Hung that a little bit right, but she's going to get some help from the fairway. The slope on the fairway, I should say. Could be in Lee Ga-young's divot. Lift clean in place this week at the High1 resort. Of course, presented in immaculate condition as always. Last to go, Kim Min-sun 7, and it looks to be a 3-wood. No, I stand corrected. It's the driver. The fairway does kick a little right to left, and she's just going to find the very right edge of it. To the 18th, second shot in now. Across the penalty area for Kim Ka-young, who finds herself 1 under par for the championship. Oh, hello. That's a nice kick. That's going to release. What a shot there from Kim Ka-young. Ji Han-sol. Part of the screen does pitch towards the back, so you just land this even if you're a yard or 2 short, it will kick on. Gotta be that wide right though, and that far short. Good break off the tee for Yu So-yeon. Avoided the fairway bunker, avoided the trees on the left. She's got a rather severe downhill line to contend with. And cut tight to that right edge. You do play downhill some 8 yards of elevation. The ball's going to travel a little bit further in the air, and with this lie, it's going to be coming out a flatter trajectory as well. It'll be hard to stop it. Got some good elevation on that, really dug in from under it. And she's going to come up well short. Maybe that one just popping off the top of the club face. through the green here for So Yun Jung at the closing hole. It's going to start wandering right there. 4 out of 10 for So. Got a bit of a hook lie here. Going to make this right pin a little bit tough to access for Kim Min Sun 7. Not bad. Pin high, leaves herself underneath the hole. Hansel. Just want to land this just past the fringe, let the slope do the rest of the work. Pitched a lot softer than both Jihan Sol and I thought. As a result, she's got a bit of a tester to avoid back-to-back bogeys to end her day. Da Som, it's a heavy-looking lie, but she's actually on a bit of an upslope here, which should help. Hangs it out right, and oof, that's going to be a tricky little short-sided shot. Maybe lie got to play it with some speed, but it's going to be rather quick. Choi Min Kyung, desperate need of some birdies this afternoon. And thankfully we're going to find one there at 4. Nicely holed for Choi. Gary Bart's late bogey drops her back to 6 under par, but she still leads the way here on day 2 at the High1 Resort. Line looks good, so she can get plenty of loft on this. And she has made a good fist of that one, Yu So-yeon. The front edge of 3. Still, a bit of a testy one for par. This is a more than testy run for Jihan Sol, who's coming towards the end of her second round. Led this championship just as we came on air, finds herself trailing by 1, stepping over this right to lefter for a closing 4 at the 18th. Good all the way, just forgot to hit it. That'll be a bit of a deflating and otherwise pretty solid day for Jihan Sol. Bogey finish, still a 72. Leaves her nicely placed going into the second half of this championship. Dasom, got to make sure you accelerate enough to pop this one out of the rough. She's made that look very simple. Great touch. So-yeon Jung for a par at 18. So that third shot just come up to here, and that's not going to be high enough for So. So like Han Sol, and like many before her, she's going to suffer a drop shot at this demanding closing hole. Still, red figures at the halfway stage of the championship. It's a good birdie look up the hill for Kim Min-sun, 7 at 3. Not to be for the rookie. Kaya after that wonderful second shot. Oh, that's a shame. You birdie 18, you are picking up more than a shot and a half on the field. This plays one of the toughest holes here all day, but that is a brilliant round of golf to get herself back into the picture and in with half a 31. 76 yesterday, 67 today. So-yeon for her par. Yeah, well done. Had to work hard at 3. She emerges unscathed. And the red hot start continue for Lee Ga-young. She's reached the par 5 fourth. This is her third shot. Just a little unlucky pitching on that downslope. It's going to go chasing through the green, but that's okay. Not overly complicated up and down. She's left herself. Kerry Parks, 6 under par, 36-hole target. The score to catch on day 2 at High1 Country Club. Normally we'd be saying that this is an elementary up and down, but at the start that Lee Kai-young's in, don't be surprised if this gives the hole a bit of a scare. Just caught that a touch heavy. You could hear the leading edge dig in. Now she's got, well, a knee-knocking putt to try to consolidate the momentum she's worked so hard to build, picking up 4 shots in her first 3 holes. Back down the fairway is your featured group for this second round. So Yon, Kim Min-sun 7, and the sophomore of KLPGA Tour, Da Song. It's going to be the Korean Women's Open runner-up, first to go from a bit of a scary hanging lie here. Ball well below her feet, out of the rough. You just try and bunt this one forward and gets a very nice kick off that left slope back into position. You're not going to win this week unless you know how to deal with hanging lies, because this mountainous course certainly offers up its fair share of uneven surfaces for the players to contend with. Now, Kim Min-sun 7. Also got a 3-wood out, but it's a slightly flatter lie. A more even lie, we should say. Nothing's really flat around here, is it? I say it, this is probably just as important momentum-wise as all the good work she's done in the first 3. This to save a par and stay at 4 under in a share of second. No, not to be. So she'll give up one of her 4 early picked-up shots here at the par 5. You saw Yon just through the fairway with her tee shot, but again, no problem. You're not going to get home in 2 at this 513-meter hole. Gets it past the cross bunker, so a far shorter 3rd shot left in with a 10-time winner on the local tour here in South Korea. The middle part of this green does pitch downhill towards the back, so from 127, Da Song have to land this maybe halfway between the front edge of the green and the pin, allow for a bigger first kick, or else that could happen. It's just tough because you pitch it into that slope, you don't get the forward bounce. Now you've got a tough 2-putt, which would rather be a little long there and short. Yu So-yeon, she's so far down there, she could throw it pretty much all the way to the hole with a bit of spin. Get this one to drop anchor quite quickly. Just tugs that a little bit. It'll stay on the putting surface. That's acceptable. Not brilliant. just acceptable. Back down on 3. Downhill lie in this left rough. Who looks to be Lee Jae-yong. No, it's Chen Yi-sung. 119 left, playing more like it's 109. Yeah, just a little bit spicy with that first bounce, but that's okay. If you can split the difference between Yu So-yeon's ball and the pin, I think Kim Min-sun 7 would be pleased with that. Just got to watch that first bounce. Needs a soft one. Jumps pretty hard. Had plenty of spin on it, keeping that on the back edge. It's not a bad result, but you can just see what I mean. That middle part of the green does shoot the ball towards the back edge quite aggressively. Now this is Lee Jae-young coming into 3 out of the fairway from 113. Drops that a little short, but it releases on. Choi Yeon-woo, the third player in that group. Used a very fine bogey-free round yesterday to Choi Yeon-woo. 69 was the morning target she set for the players to catch. It's Carey Park who leads at the moment with a pair of 69s to leave her at 6 under par. I'd like to say this is a fairly straightforward up and down for Ma Da-som. Hands forward, get the shaft leading a little bit. Trying to pop this out with a bit of run. Ooh, dear, just like Lee Ga-young ahead, leading edge digging in there. I was starting to wonder if that rough looks a little bit thicker than it seems on camera, because that's the second fat shot we've seen in a row from the back edge of 4. Chen Yi-sung's left herself with an outside look at the third. All 3 players in this group counting 69s yesterday. Yi-sung first to go. Slightly downhill. And this cup outside the left. Totally contrary to popular belief with that graphic, that is not Choi Yeon-woo. That is Chen Yi-sung coming down the hill for her birdie at 3. She's got it on a decent line, like we've seen several times this week. Not quite matching the speed up there. good amount of movement off the right for Yu So-yeon's birdie look at the fourth. This is Choi Eun-woo. Birdie look at the third. The only bogey-free round of golf recorded yesterday at the High1 resort. It's a good positive putt there. She really has looked the most comfortable on the greens pace-wise of all the players we've seen in our coverage through the first day and a half here. Going to be slow coming up the hill. It's a putt she can attack. Just falls off at the end. Put a good stroke on it. And it's going to be a quartet of pars to start Friday. Jae-young. It'll stay pretty straight as it works its way up the hill, then start working its way to her left as it approaches the cup. Now it's a bit of a misread there from Lee Jae-young. Ga-young and Min-sun's sevens putts, we know this dives left if you don't hit it with enough pace at the hole. So got to start this on the right edge, maybe outside right for Da-som. Now that is charged into the back of the cup with pace. Good recovery for Ma Da-som. Keeps the card nice and tidy, keeps her at 2 under. Speaking of Lee Ga-young, here she is at the 5th, second of these back-to-back par 5s. Yeah, decent effort there. Makes herself about 20 feet pin high. Second of these back-to-back par 5s in the front nine, 478-meter fifth. You see a lot of players hit less than driver off the tee simply because there's this penalty area that protects the far edge of the fairway. Driver really brings too much risk into play because, let's face it, you're not going to go for this green in two because the second shot does play uphill and the putting surface is guarded by a second much larger penalty area short of it, so pretty much every player in the field is going to be laying it up to this spot, leaving yourself a wedge or a short iron into this slightly raised green. The pin today cut on the front section, 9 from the front edge and just 6 from the left. The first order of business is see if you negotiate the tee shot. Certainly expect all three players this group to have less than driver in hand. Take the case for Yu So-yeon, who's just got a 3-wood. short of what looks to be the 7th. Lee Soo-jin, 3. Oh, nicely played. Gets herself up to 2 under par with that chip in. It looks like it's just a hybrid for Kim Min-sun's 7. Still with less than driver. It's not the widest target up there for these ladies. Dassom to round things off, also with a hybrid club in hand. Son Yebin bogeyed her closing hole yesterday to start around a 1 over par 73, but it's one of the better shots we've seen into 4 this afternoon. Decent opportunity at the 5th, as she's done ever since the rule was changed, leaving the flagstick in. Had it on a lovely line, but that's going to be your first part of Friday for Lee Ga-young. 3-3-2 start, and then a 6 at 4, and now a par at the 5th. In 3. Ample holes to play. Looks like Jung Yoon-ji coming into the 3rd from the top of the hill. And G2 benefits from a nice kick off the front right shoulder of the green. Leaves herself with a decent look. She had plenty of them yesterday. Really felt like she got nothing out of that opening round. Min-sun. This is the same club she hit off the tee. It's going to be that rescue again. Modern technology really has made that shot a lot simpler. The soles of those hybrid clubs chop through rough so much easier than you would, say, a long iron, a 3 iron, a 2 iron. Dare we think about it, the old 1 iron. Great Lee Trevino quote. If you're ever caught in a lightning storm, hold up a 1 iron, because not even God can hit a 1 iron. So young, all about leaving herself a favourite yardage in for this wedge shot. It looks to be a 5 iron, maybe a 4 iron for you. get maximum control on her spin, playing the third out of the fairway. She gets up there and jump ahead to the 8th. Sujin, after chipping in for birdie to get her back to even for the day, takes dead aim there at the par 3. Another beautiful summer's day here at High1 Country Club, and it's a pretty good view from the top of the leaderboard if you're Kerry Park, who leads by 2. Sonia Bin, after a wonderful third, has this for birdie at 4 to get her back to level pegging for the tournament. Yeah, very nicely holed. Good birdie there for Son. one to be no worse than 15 feet for Yu So-yeon. A nice full wedge she's left herself into 5. Jung-In-ji, she'd love to get the putter working early. Let's look at 3 coming up the hill is a decent opportunity. The caddy knew off the putter face that wasn't quite hit firm enough, banging it on. So it's only a par. Kai Young's reached the 60s. See that beautiful turbulent watch up for grabs for the First Lady to snag an ace at this 150-meter par 3. Should start to come around off that slope. Well done. And through the fairway with a layup. So we'll have to allow for a touch of release. Bit of grass going to get caught between the club face and ball at impact. Take some spin off it. Downhill look for Sujin to go back-to-back at the 8th. Got a chance. Oh, just dives off at the end. Touch unlucky there, was a good stroke. Dasson. Long range birdie putt on the way at 5, and again, one of many who just not quite getting the pace of these greens. Sung through the green at 4. It can be a little sticky back here. Good acceleration and contact through that. Nicely played. Yu So-yeon, you'd think, would be sneaking in to have a close look at Kim Min-sun's 7's birdie putt. A rookie on a very identical line to the 2-time major champion. They are both putting for 4. Just an ounce more required. The slippery one down the hill for a birdie at the 4th to get herself into a tie for 2nd. Just a little wide. So-yeon. Don't see too much break in this. Just a case of getting it to the hole with good pace. It certainly is the waft of inevitability that this 33-year-old is going to be right in the title picture come Sunday afternoon. Well, she certainly will if she continues to putt the way she has through the first couple of holes on Friday. That's a nice birdie. It takes her up into that share for second within 2 of Carey Park's 6 under par total. More in this than Mada Som would have liked. But I just don't see her missing these. Relatively straight. Visualize it clattering into the back of the cup and dropping in. Yep. Never in doubt. Well done. Sizing up a birdie look again here at the 6th. Just like she did on 5. And that's short in the jaws. First look of the day at Im Jin Hee. One under par round of golf yesterday. Turned in 4 under, stumbled home. She's picked up an early birdie already. So now doubles her total for the week. That's just a par at the 3rd for the now 4-time KLPGA Tour champion. That is a Frederic Constant manufacture Tribulon watch that the players are contesting on the 6th. It's worth 33 million won. It's only for the First Lady who aces this hole this week. Again, no hole-in-ones recorded so far this week, and this one unlikely to challenge the pin. That is tugged long and left for Yu So-yeon. That could be a bit of an awkward stance that she finds herself in. Not sure if that's rolled into the flat spot of the bunker or just up against the back side of it. Dassom electing to not tee it up here at the par 3. Always does confuse me. Good friend of mine and the voice of Asian golf, Tom Boulay, always used to bemuse when players wouldn't use a tee on par 3. Why would you give yourself a good lie when you can give yourself a perfect lie? That gets a friendly kick forward. Bit too friendly as it scampers on, but that's a decent tee shot for Dassom. That looks to be the slim figure of Kim Si-won up ahead. Second shot into 9. The lady who's bagged 7 titles on the KLPGA Tour, and that's the best we've seen into this par 4. Just got married last year. Was Kim Min-sun 5. Now Kim Si-won. We'll have a look to get to even par at the 9th. Now back to 6. Kim Min-sun 7. Keep an eye on Ma Dassom on the green, and well, she's going to be showing Dassom the line as well. A couple of good tee shots there, and a bit of a strange one from Yu So-yeon in that group. Now, Yoonji coming into 4. We know the equation here. Land it short. Get it to spin as quick as you can. Is ideal. Sujin. Love to follow in Kim Si-won to this back left pin. Just a little deep, but gets that one to come back off the slope. A couple of great shots there, and that one's getting better and better. The iconic Castle Clubhouse here at High1 Golf Resort. And Kerry Park continues to lead this championship off the strength of a second successive 69. Just see the way that Yu So-yeon's getting into this bunker. That ball is well below the level of her feet. It's tricky to try and maintain your height on these and control the low point of your swing. No option but to play a chunk and run. Not too bad. The putter's gonna have to work again for Yu So-yeon. Jin-young 2 coming into the front right pin on 7 this afternoon. Currently 1 under par. Oh, she does create some speed, doesn't she? Which is pretty accurate too. That's marvelous. Min-sun 7. At this birdie opportunity at the 6th. Wants to just drift a little to her right. Not bad. Good pace on that. And the good news is doesn't really come under too much pressure. Not a stress-free pass for Kim Min-sun 7 today. Half a dozen of them, in fact. Ga-young, right in the middle of the fairway. She's been locked in with her irons this afternoon. Dear, commentator's curse, I'm afraid. Probably the worst thing she's put on it since we came on air. Dasson. 2 at 6. Good pace on it. Just a fraction low. Finding her feet nicely. No sophomore slump for Dasson. 6 straight pars to start day 2. We go to this year's rookie, Kim Min-byul, for a birdie at the 4th. Yeah, well done. Could mathematically move past Hwang Yo-min at the top of the rookie points list. Yo-min taking the week off before next week's major championship at Jade Palace. Really good second shot into 9. This side-winding birdie look for Lee Soo-jin to creep closer to Carey Park. We know it swings a lot, but a lot of players have overread that, curiously enough, just giving that slope a little too much respect. And for par, to keep the scorecard clean, Yu So-yeon at the par 3 6th. Never a good sign when you're up and out of it that quickly. A poor tee shot leads to a first bogey of the afternoon. Yeah, come on, Yunji. These are chances you can't afford to let slip. Yeah, the artist formerly known as Kim Min-sun 5 to square her books for the championship. Recently went to the long putter. It's resurrected her game. And she will find a rare 3 at the 9th. Well done. Yu So-yeon and company make their way up to the par 4 7th. Why don't we take you through this 361-meter hole? It's a generous-looking tee shot, but there's really not much fairway to aim at. It's just a narrow sliver in the distance. Pair of bunkers on the right-hand side and a big hill on the left. Sometimes less than driver will be employed off this tee. A second shot played over this large lake to a green that's guarded by it on the left and some thick rough to the right. The pin today in the front right section of this green. Engine does on with speed that she can generate. This would just be that hybrid club. Maybe a 3-wood at most for Ma. That's the hybrid. Left half of the fairway is to be preferred to today's pin position. Just off the right edge of 7 green. Needs that one to slow down. Ooh. 8 feet left for par. Also safely found for Min-sun 7. See how the 2-time major champion bounces back from a rather sloppy bogey. So-yeon with her 3-wood, just be a soft, chippy one. Easily run out of fairway if she goes at this full throttle. Up on the green, very good second shot to leave home with this birdie look to get to 2 under par. Yeah, well done. Nice conversion there. Good 3 on the 7th to start the birdie train for Hong Jin Young on Friday. An important putt just for the psyche of Lee Ga-young. Hot start and a sloppy bogey at 4. Don't want to let another slide by here at 7, not from the middle of the fairway. And she's not going to. Nicely hold there. Broke into the winner's circle for the first time in her career last year at the Korea Championship, the KLPGA Tour's modified Stableford event. And what a week that was for Lee Ga-young, winning in her 78th start. Rehearsal practice swings for Kim Min-sun 7, really trying to make sure she keeps that club in front of her on the way down. A lot of bad shots produced when you just get it a little bit too far behind you, a little stuck. A lot of compensation required at the bottom of your swing to try to square that club face up. Started a little left. It's going to kick right. Certainly can't blame the wind. There hasn't been any wafting through High1 Resort over the first 2 days. Back at the fifth, Chen Yi-sung to join that share of second. And join it she will. That's a nicely holed putt. Went in with good pace as well. Lovely birdie at the par 5 to take Chen Yi-sung to 2 under par for her second round. Okay, just gotta read this lie correctly. It's not something you can be taught. Just have to get a good feel of it through years of experience and countless rounds. Right for that to jump, and jump it did. Excellent shot. Real touch of class there from Yoo So-yeon. Dasson, last to go. She should try and send this one in a little bit higher with an 8 iron. Start at the right edge, try and turn a high draw into this pin. Okay, that'll work out fine for Ma Da-som. Yoonji back at 5. Nice full wedge in. Well, she's given herself another look. Surely she's got to start holding 1 or 2. She's played some excellent golf since missing the cut at High1 in defense of her E1 Charity Ladies Open title. Ga-young up to the par 3/8. Beautifully smooth tempo Ga-young possesses. Just a little deep there at this 141-meter hole. Just want to play this with the hands forward, so looking to drop this in the fringe and have it trundle out to the hole. Yeah, nicely played from Kim Min Sun 7. He's played some good touch today, and once again, that's just a tap in for par. Drop back to the 6th and tee shot upcoming. Lee Jae-yong. I've seen a lot of players throw it out to the right, trying to use that slope. Jae-yong dropping it a little bit short, kicking it forward and towards the pin off that front bunker shoulder. Now Madasom. 6 straight pars to this point. And I'll make that 7 straight pars because that's not got the pace at all. It's just a difference in psyche. You've got Kim Min Sun 7. She's hitting good putts. Well, just past the hole with good pace. Dasom just seems to be leaving everything short. You're not threatening for birdies. Just sort of accepting pars as we go back to Choi Yun-woo, who's dropped her first shot of the championship. Now back at 2 under par. That's a fine tee shot into this par 3, and she'll have a chance to balance her books for this second round. Dayon, who was birdieless in her opening round of 75, is going to get the putter to start cooperating early doors on Friday. That's a lovely birdie there for the reigning KLPGA Championship winner. A couple of 6s have left herself the wrong side of par. Now, Guy Young, backside of the green at 8. Moves right to left to start, down the hill, and then back towards the right at the end. And that is a very poor effort from Guy Young. Undercooked, underread. Putter is coming under pressure again for a lady who got off to an absolute flyer of a start. Now Soyeon to collect another birdie and bounce back like the champion she is. No. There's 2 poor putts she's hit. Back-to-back greens. Can't capitalize on that fine approach out of the left rough. Come on, Yunji. Whenever you're ready, start stringing them together. She's got one. Finally, one drops for Jung Yun-ji. Gets to 2 under. 1 under for this second round. And Guy Young hasn't lost a turn. Up ahead on 8 green. This is a testy slider for her par. Doesn't get away with it this time. A very poor 3-putt bogey. She'll drop back to 2 under. Still 2 under for her round. Nothing to sniff at. To the most successful player on the KLPGA Tour in the last 2 years, Park Min-ji. Won under par 71 yesterday for the lady who's already snagged 2 titles this year, 1 over the card coming into the 5th. And she'll have a birdie putt from right around 18 feet. Now to 6, and Lee Jae-young's birdie putt. Right on a lovely line to Jae-young. He'll settle for 3. Shimmy over to the 8th. Mada Som back on the tee. Imagine this would be an 8 iron, maybe even a 9. In fact, it is a 9. It was target practice for these ladies yesterday. You could just hear that first bounce on the green. The surfaces are starting to firm up a little bit. Choi Yeon-woo at the other par 3 on this opening 9 for her birdie after that excellent tee shot. Oh, hangs on the top side, frustratingly close to a deuce. Like Jae-young, it's just going to be the par. Dasom hit 9. Don't think it's going to be anything more than a 9 for Kim Min-sun 7. She's next to go. I stand corrected. That's an 8 iron. Have to be a very soft one. Yeah, too soft. Didn't splash into the penalty area, but at the height that was coming in, certainly hope it hasn't plugged in that front trap. Take a couple of deep breaths and compose herself now, Yoo So-yeon. Decent there. Just a little left, but no problems. Yoon-ji pin just sets up so nicely for her. Throw it out a little bit right, use the contours to feed it close. She really has been imperious with her ball striking throughout most of 2023. Leaves herself another great chance as we rejoin Park Min-ji at 5, looking to get back under par. Minbyul, also with a 7. It's right at it. Those firmer greens, just releasing that ball on a little bit further than Min Byul would have liked. Still, good tee shot. And a look at birdie. Don't think this is plugged. I can't tell from this camera angle. For Kim Min Sun 7. Nice clean lie. Should be able to either dump this on the downslope and have it chase on, or if she's feeling a little bit braver, try and clip this a little closer to the ball, carry it to the hole with a lot of spin. Playing this into the breeze certainly makes the shot a little bit easier. It's gone for the chunk and run. It's not bad. But there's still a little bit of work to be done for a sandy par. Also in the sand at 9 is Hong. You find with very bunker shots, you clip these nicely, you can sometimes put more spin on your ball than if you were coming out of the fairway. A bit like a police dog, that one. And it's just left enough that it's going to feed down that slope. That is a superb shot from Hong. Wonderfully judged. Dasop, outside look again here on 8. Just want to see her hit a putt with a little bit more conviction. And again, just comes up shy. So Ga Young, a yard off the fairway on 9. Have to just allow for a bit of release with this second. Is that going to catch the ridge? It's going to try. It's not bad. Sometimes when you've missed a couple of shorties, having a birdie putt from this range isn't a bad thing. You can almost freewheel it because the expectations to hold it are so much lower for Yu So-yeon. Much freer looking stroke and a good try. Back at 8. Seen this putt a couple of times. Drifts a little right to start, then wants to come back left at the end. No, not that much Min Byul, just a little wide there, but a solid par. The projected cut line still stubbornly staying at 1 over, but it's slowly inching its way towards 2. Good news if you're Ji and Hee in the clubhouse. 2 over par, along with a smattering of other players. So a par-saving putt now required. First real test that Kim Min Sun 7 has faced on Friday. Just a little unlucky, that one. A bit too much pace. Grabbed a piece of the cup, but will not drop. Yunji, 2 in a row. It's on a good line. Oh, tell you what, she hit some good putts. Just gets nothing out of the flat stick most weeks. When he gets going, she's a very dangerous golfer to behold. 3 rounds of 64 or better this season on tour. Dasson to tidy up for a 3 at 8. So that slight error in judgment off the tee is going to lead to a bogey for Kim Min Sun 7. Slips back to 1 under par. Ga Young to steady the ship and go out in 3 under par 33. A brave effort at all. But still, goes out in 34. Steady stuff. Back down the fairway. So Yon. She's leaning like this is leaking right. There's a fairway bunker down there, but she looks to have avoided it. Terrific shot out of the fairway bunker. Use that slope at the back of the green to perfection for Hong. Still, even though this is about 3 feet, it's anything but straightforward. Still got to start this left edge. Just try and tickle it in over the front edge of the cup. A delightful 3. Takes Hong Jin Young to 3 under. Matches the output 9 of 34, recorded by her playing partner, Lee Ga-young. Well, as we start to wind down our coverage from Friday, why don't we relive some of the great shots and key moments of this second round. We'll start with the lady who came into Friday with the lead. Park Geol, one of 48 players who had to come back this morning to complete their opening round. That was a nice birdie at 4 to get her round back under control. I dropped a couple of shots before that. This was a beautiful long bunker shot, not easy. Judged very nicely there by Ji Han So. At the 4th, we saw throughout our coverage it wasn't the easiest pin to get close to. You had to land it short, allow for a big bounce, and then get it to hit the handbrakes right about there. The defending champion, Han Jun-seon, would be one of the players to walk off the 4th green with a 4. Up at the 11th, Kerry Park will start to make her move on this side of the golf course. Played some very fine golf. That was just a 2-putt par. At that point, stayed tied with Park Geol. Geol, she would find a nice birdie there after a couple of pars. Lee So-mi with an arm lock putter, which has served well this season since she moved to it. Got one to drop from right around 40 feet at the 6th. Ji-Han Sol continue to just chip away. A lovely birdie there. Took her to the top of the leaderboard at 6 under. Park Hyun-kyung, runner-up last week. Just making her move with that dice birdie at 6. At 7, Lee So-mi, after a very nice approach, left her underneath the hole. Good aggressive stroke. And a birdie got her up to 4 under, where she would finish her round. Hyun-kyung would go on to collect another birdie after a good tee shot at 8. 3 runner-up finishes so far in the season. She finds herself in the mix again. Kerry Park hit the top of the board. Was tight with Ji-Han Sol at that point. A birdie at 15. Got her to 4 under for the day and 7 under for the championship. And then the afternoon starters. Lee Ga-young got off to a great start. Birdie at the first. That was back-to-back birdies at the third. And the group behind was Yoo So-yeon, the 2-time major champion on the LPGA Tour, opening her account for the day at the par 4 as well. And then at the third hole, I think safe to say this is going to be shot of the day. Lee Ga-young, birdie at 1, birdie at 2, 101 left into the third. Nothing left after that. An eagle 2, getting her to 4 under par through 3. Didn't it just delight the crowd? And Kerry Park did hit the green in 2 on 18, left her birdie putt well short, and that was to be her only bogey in her round of 69, but still she leads this championship at 6 under par, heading into the weekend. She was done being in the morning starters. The afternoon ladies had chances to score. Yoo So-yeon picking up another birdie at the 5th, getting her up to 4 under par into what was a rather congested score at that point, because in the group behind, that would go as well for Jun Yi-sung. So scoring has been better on day 2, and it's still Kerry Park who leads this championship by 2 over a quartet of chasers. We're on air an hour earlier tomorrow for moving day action at the High1 Country Club. Sincerely hope you can join us then. Until then, it's Timothy Lowe saying have a wonderful Friday, and we'll see you tomorrow on the KLPGA Tour. Bye-bye for now.